Quiet.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
Can you state
She's asking
categorically,
a question. Don't
Mr.
be
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You are
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can
No,
you
I'm
give
not
us a
going to give you a
question?
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to Dave versus the MSM. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. And thank you for networking this information to anyone and everyone you know. We are available 24/7 at davejanda.com with extra shows, extra content, extra guests, archives to all of our shows. Our radio show is live and free every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern. You can stream it live at davejanda.com. Just hit listen live and you're with us. On Wham Talk 1600's Freedom Bunker. AM radio, which we're going to talk about today, actually. How the cult has gotten so desperate that they've now targeted AM talk radio. That's not a sign of their power. It's a sign of their desperation. It's a sign that we're being effective at awakening the public on a mass scale. So our shows are available free on Sundays from 2 to 5 Eastern. We have listeners in all 50 states and in over 100 countries worldwide every week through our internet presence. Now, the podcasts are part of our subscription platform, as is our WTF show, our Insider Insight show, our Department of Advanced Research show, our healthcare policies, all available, 30 cents a day, $9 a month. Try it for a month. If you don't like it, get rid of it. But I don't know why. Biggest bang for the buck in all the internet. Well, you're biased, Dave. No, I'm just being truthful with you. Because there are issues and information I cannot discuss on public platforms, radio, social media, videos, that I can only discuss on our subscription side. And the reason is because there are so many censorship choke points from the censorship industrial complex impregnated within the FCC that oversees radio, within you name the government agency and corporate entity, that I would immediately be shut down, which is why the website, davejanda.com, exists and why the subscription side exists, to put you months, frankly years, and in some instances decades ahead of the curve. As I mentioned earlier, the censorship industrial complex has now targeted AM radio, and this is just one of their targets. I want to first speak about the censorship, how censorship has many different forms. And let me just speak about how I've seen it in what I do in producing content. One way they send the globalist cult censors freedom-based information, facts, data, science, is through deplatforming. We're going to take you off Twitter. I've done another video on another platform that I could never do on this platform because it would lead to our channel being discontinued. And in particular, I dissect about me being kicked off Twitter 2.5 years ago, my appeals process before Musk and after Musk, and how nothing has changed with him there. Oh, there's some high-profile accounts that were established. I think at the time I was kicked off Twitter on January 2021, I had about 80,000 followers, and that was suppressed lower, but still 80,000 that they would admit to, but it was undoubtedly higher. So not a little account. And in fact, one of my last tweets got over 10,000 likes. So it's, yeah. They didn't like that, though, which is, I think, one of the main reasons why I was kicked off, because it was factually based. But so one way they try to keep you misinformed, disinformed, and completely uninformed is through their censorship industrial complex. And so they do it by deplatforming. You're off this platform. You're off that platform. Okay. Then the other thing they do is they stealth ban, right? They manipulate view counts. So you don't think it's a video that got a lot of attention, even though it did. Mm-hmm. They manipulate follower counts. They hide content. They block notifications. They remove follow. This is all part of their stealth banning component. Then there's their targeting component. We're going to get a government agency to do a colonoscopy on you, like the IRS, the Department of Homeland Security, or their State Department's Global Engagement Center that was really a global censorship center, or the Treasury Department or the Department of Homeland Security, all involved in censorship. And of course, there's their threat component. If you don't shut up, well, there's bad things that are going to happen to you. And now, their latest salvo in their desperation censorship operation is to target AM radio. Now, we at Wham Talk 1600, an AM station, got wind of this right after Biden was installed. And what the ownership, very smart ownership, by the way, and by the way, it's an independent station, so you will hear content on that station that you will never hear on any radio station ever. Okay, I've been at Wham Talk 1600 12 and a half years. I've never been told what I could or could not say. I've never been told to retract anything. And the ownership is one of its kind. Their programming throughout the day, every day, is fantastic. I encourage you to listen to Theron X's show. He's a guest on my Operation Freedom show. He's on every day, Monday through Friday. Outstanding show. Hands down. It should be syndicated. It's not. Why? Because the syndicators are all owned by the globalists. So all these syndicated hosts you hear, they're all sanitized. They're all controlled opposition, right? But not at Wham Talk 1600. So Theron X is on from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, Eastern Time. Go to davejanda.com, hit the Listen Live button. It's free. Listen to it. We stream it. Also, my show streamed from Sundays from 2 to 5 Eastern. Stream it. It's free. If you want the podcast, part of the subscription platform, as I mentioned. And listen. Wham's Talk 1600 saw this coming. Management. So, past year and a half, they bought an FM station. Okay. In addition, they upped the internet presence of Wham Talk 1600. So it's on TuneIn Radio, it's on a number of the apps. You can go to my website, you can go to Wham Radio, WAAMradio.com. So our internet presence is significant because we heard this was coming. Remember, we are in the People's Republic of Ann Arbor, not far from the quarry known as Detroit, that hole in the ground. And where they once used to build a lot of cars, kind of the former hub of the automotive industry. And we got wind of this through our contacts in the automotive industry. This came out recently. Automakers such as BMW, Volkswagen, Mazda, and Tesla. Wait a minute, Tesla? CEO of that is Elon Musk. He's all about free speech. Not all hat, no cattle. Listen to that other video I did on the other platform. Are removing AM radios from new electric vehicles. Well, what's on AM radio? Well, there's talk shows, freedom talk shows, such as ours, such as Theron's, right? They're removing AM radios from new electric vehicles because electric engines, this high-tech electric engine that's so vastly superior to the combustion engine, can interfere with the sound of AM stations. Okay, so I have a number of contacts in the automotive world and automotive engineers, who are very smart. And I said, "Is this true?" They said, "Easy workaround. That is a excuse that isn't legitimate. There are software workarounds for this. No problem. Easily done." Goes on. And Ford, one of the nation's top 3 auto sellers, is taking a bigger step, eliminating AM radio from all of its vehicles, electric or gas operated. So a good friend of mine sent me an article about this. I said, "Dave, is this true?" Here is my response. Yes, it is. which is why the management of our station bought an FM station in the past year and a half. This has been rumored for the past 2 years. Many people currently use their apps in their cars to listen to radio stations. To try to get ahead of this, in addition to the FM station purchase, listeners can stream Wham directly through my website, davejana.com 24/7, and from the TuneIn app and a number of other apps 24/7. I understand from many people in the automotive companies this move to curtail AM radios in cars is getting tremendous blowback from both the Freedom Talk radio crowd and the sports listening crowd who rely on AM radio to listen to sports events. Of significant note, the Emergency Broadcast Network is completely based on AM radio stations around the country, of which Wham is Southeast Michigan's hub. Apparently, the totalitarian thugs forgot about that fact and are now trying to dodge any inquiries about how the public is to be informed about emergency events while in their cars traveling if they're going to eliminate AM radio. That being said, this is yet another direct attack on talk radio that exposes, through talk radio shows, the globalist cult and their freedom stripping agenda. And as I understood it from many people, and I called a number of these companies that did this. And I came to understand that blowback from you, the consumer, was huge. You do that, we're not buying your cars. No, if your technology is so bass-backward that it can't handle an AM radio signal, we don't want anything to do with it. And if you're willing to put me in harm's way when I'm in my car because I can't get information about a tornado or a train derailment that might have toxic materials or other hazardous type of weather conditions, in the winter here in Michigan, blizzards and the like. If you're going to do that about closed roads, about accidents, if you're going to do that, I don't want anything to do with you. The blowback was enormous. From every individual I spoke to in the automotive industry, that's what they told me. Now, to my knowledge, BMW, Ford, Volkswagen, Mazda, and Tesla, Elon Musk, oh, I'm so high tech and I care about freedom of speech, all hat, no cattle. In other words, what am I saying? All hat, no cattle? Texas statement. I got a lot of family and friends down there. They make that statement about people who are cons. Yeah. Let's put Musk in that. Con. Oh, he says a lot of good things, right? But hey, wasn't he the same guy who brought that person from the World Economic Forum to be the new CEO? Yeah, that's the same guy. Yeah. That's the same guy who's the CEO of the company that still has people like me vamoosed from their platform. Right. And now this is strike 3 about going after him. But he cares about free speech. He talks a good game. But buddy, actions, if you will, take precedent over words. The whole talking the talk and walking the walk thing. Yeah. But the blowback was so big. Ford Motor Company reverses plan, vows to keep AM radio for its electric and non-electric vehicles. Ford announced, about a week after they made this decision, that the automaker is reversing its previous plan to remove AM radio from vehicles, both electric and gasoline operated. From their CEO, quote, after speaking with policy leaders about the importance of AM broadcast radio as a part of the emergency alert system. I wonder where they heard about that. Big mouth. Big mouth. Emergency alert system. We've decided to include AM radio on our Ford and Lincoln vehicles. For any listen now. This is the CEO of Ford saying. For any owners of Ford electric vehicles without AM broadcast capability, we'll offer a software update, end quote. Good for you. Good for Ford. Never should have done it in the first place, but hey, you know what? We all make mistakes. At least they actually went public and said, we made a mistake and we're not going to do this. Meanwhile, Volkswagen, BMW, Mazda, Tesla, their technology is so refined that an AM signal just messes it up. Right. This is an indication of who's in bed with the globalists. I mean, they all are, but to what degree? And it shows how desperate the globalist cult has become about the awakening of the public. A public that is tuning out. It should be completely tuned out, but still, we got people out there in the People's Republic of Ann Arbor. Mainstream media rules. Yeah, right, rules. Rules when it comes to lying and deception and propaganda. Hundreds of millions of people have woken up to the fraud of the mainstream media. And what woke them up? Past 3 years. The past 3 years. Yeah. That was supposed to be a cleanup operation, where we all get right. Oh no, instead it did the opposite. It woke people up. And their propaganda operations are failing. So they've gotten desperate with their censorship operations, which are also failing. You see, folks, many people will tell you, you should sit on the couch. Don't do that. People that are telling you that, just wait for the military. Wait for a politician. Wait for the next election. Don't do that. Anyone telling you that is part of the cult. They are controlled opposition. They are bought and paid for. You protest peacefully. Just like here. People were all over the dealerships, all over Ford headquarters, calling. You know what? This is a bad decision. You need to change it. If not, I'm not going to buy your product. We saw this with that crappy beer can that surrounds crappy beer. Right? They're still in huge trouble. That's right. And all those that are telling you to sit on the couch would have told you, don't contact that crappy beer company. Don't contact Ford. Just wait. No. You do it peacefully. You do it ethically and honestly. But you call them out. And not just corporations. People that are in positions of power. Do it ethically, do it honestly. But do it. Just do it. Remember that one? Yeah. The cult's desperate. That's why they targeted Talk AM radio. And it backfired. You need to take this information in this video and circulate it to those around you who still are mesmerized by the bought-off lamestream fake media. The more people that become educated with the truth, the facts, the data, in cases the science, when it's applicable, become empowered. And the more people we have empowered, the sooner we end this reign of terror by the globalist cult. I thank you for joining me today. We are available 24/7 at davejanda.com. Extra shows, extra content, extra guests, extra analysis, archives to all of our shows. Become part of our Freedom family. Subscribe. 30 cents a day at davejanda.com. We also have a tremendous amount of free content there. Some great interviews, recent interviews. Paul Craig Roberts, right there on the homepage in the film strip area. I just interviewed him. Former Assistant Secretary of the Treasury in the Reagan administration. And I did healthcare policy work with the Reagan administration. It's a discussion you will never hear from any other platform. Also, we have featured Charlie Plum, Captain Charlie Plum, who was an F-4 fighter pilot, shot down over North Vietnam, was held in captivity 2,105 days. We discuss about adversity and how to deal with adversity and how to make adversity work for you. You need to listen to that interview. It's free. Made it free. It was for our subscribers for a period of time. That's free. Right on the homepage. You'll be glad you did. I thank you for joining me today. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big. Dare to fail. Thanks for your time today.